that moment on, and from that day on, my life changed. I remember saying something along the lines of, how can I get involved? How can I help?
When I first met the Esiasons, they had actually already been doing some work here. They had met some children with CF, and so CF had already become part of their life.
I would bring my offensive linemen, dress them up as Santa Claus, and we saw these kids that were just so sick, and they were the sickest of sick. We saw a lot of those kids die in front of our eyes before the age of 10. My first practice for the New York Jets, a secretary comes running out saying, your wife's on the phone, you need to take the phone call, it's an emergency. Gunnar is in Children's Hospital, he's on a respirator, you gotta come back. So I flew back immediately, and the first person that I saw was a pediatric pulmonologist. And with him was the CF nurse, the cystic fibrosis nurse. And I knew at that moment that he had cystic fibrosis. They didn't have to tell us.
CF is one of the most demanding disorders. It is very similar to walking on an uphill road. It is easy in the beginning. It gets harder as they get older.
My name is Sarah and I have cystic fibrosis.
I'm John and I have cystic fibrosis.
My name is Nicholas Lang and I have cystic fibrosis.
When I have a bad day, I have tummy aches and chest aches and I don't feel good. And I take 40 medicines a day.
Instead of 5 hours of treatment, I wish I could play 5 hours of football.
My sister Alicia, she was a great person. She was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis when she was 5. She just had it worse than I did, and she passed away about a year ago. So.
She had so much courage, and that's what I see in all of these kids, is an amazing amount of courage to deal with something that's so challenging.
And any little cough, any little sneeze, any little runny nose, like panic sets in. And you're saying, oh my God, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes.
Boomer understood even before Gunnar was diagnosed with cystic fibrosis, and therefore he was committed from the very beginning to help those families and help those children.
Boomer is a guy who built a part of the hospital to help patients with CF.
He has a son that has CF like me, and he's a football player, and he helps out with cystic fibrosis.
The NFL has given me an unbelievable platform to stand on top of the mountain and scream, to the holy heavens about cystic fibrosis, to the point where I'm sure people at times get sick of it. I've never made an excuse or an apology for doing that, because I figure that's what I should be doing. I'm trying to leverage everybody I possibly can. I'm trying to not only save my son, but all those kids that went before him and all those families who were all dealt a hand that no parent wants.
His efforts have allowed us to develop an outpatient and inpatient CF care center, allowed us to incorporate exercise into the regular care regimen that our CF patients receive. His commitments have helped to advance the studies of the new drugs that are targeting the root cause of CF. It is probably arguably the most important relationship that we've had. We are living in a time in CF that is unprecedented. People with CF have hope that they've never had before, and that hope is because people have given, and people have given their time, their money, their efforts, their sweat, but those gifts are changing lives today.
When I grow up, I want to be a professional football player, and then I want to be a police officer, and then I want to be rich.
I want to be a doctor because I just want to.
I just see myself in 5 years being graduated from college, just having a steady job.
I've never once ever considered the possibility that there's a life expectancy with the disease. As far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna live till I'm 95. And a textbook is not gonna tell me how long I'm going to live.
I would like to say to Boober, thank you for trying to find a cure for cystic fibrosis.
I just want to say thank you, Boomer, for all that you have done to help CF kids throughout America.
Thank you for helping me.
I don't ever want to hear from the doctor, you know what, we found another strain and we can't treat it, because then it goes pretty fast. And I don't want that reality. I'm not ready for that. Nobody is. I'm scared to stop. I don't want to stop until we really cure cystic fibrosis. Ultimately, that's what I want. That's what I'm hoping for. I only want what every other parent wants for their child, and that's for them to live a happy, fulfilling life and hopefully feel what it means to be a parent themselves.